Hello, everyone. Again, another episode. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Today, with an amazing guest, James Artissen. He's right now all-time singer. Really good vibes. He's launching on the market right now. James, thank you so much for joining us today and taking your time to have this episode.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, thank you. So, James, for people who don't actually know you that well, how would you characterize who is James Artisan?
Hmm. I would say I'm just someone who just loves the art. I love
Right.
entertainment. I love music. I love the arts. I just love being creative. That's what I've always been throughout my whole life as a creative person. And, music was just an additive to that.
Was it something that it started since you were a child, or something that was created, or started, during your life stage, or something that happened in your life that made you go that way?
Yeah, music has always been around me. It's always been in me. I think I was just kind of I don't want to say born, but I was kind of molded into doing music because it was something that I felt as a very, very young kid, very passionate about. So I couldn't even really see myself doing anything else.
Amazing, amazing. And how did it game start? Obviously each singer has his own signature. How do you realize what you be, your style, let's just say, within music? How do you started all this journey into it?
Well, it started out with songwriting. So very, very early on, I was always good with putting words together and just kind of being very witty with metaphors and stuff like that. So
Right.
um, the more that I started studying other musicians, other artists, other music producers, writers, etc., that's when I kind of took the initiative on my part to kind of grasp the concept of songwriting. So each week, every weekend, I would go to a record store and buy an album that I never heard before, just to read the credits and see who did what,
Amazing.
just so I can start learning about these people and learning their techniques. And once I kind of got a grasp on, okay, this is how I do this is how I do that, then I started kind of putting my own twist on things in my way,
Sure.
and started writing songs. And one thing led to another, and that's how the music production aspect came about, because I needed music to go behind these words to actually make full songs. And it just kept growing and growing.
Amazing, amazing. During this journey, you were in duo with known other known singers, and you just released, great new clips. Can you tell us a bit about that story behind how it all this started?
Yeah, so the cool part is this was about 2017.
Right.
And at the time, I was working with a partner of mine. His name is International Nova. He's a Latin artist now, but at that time, he was more hip hop and rap. And at the time, I was producing for him and writing for him, and we were doing different things together. And one day, he asked me to reference a hook for one of his songs, just so he can kind of hear it and see where to go with it. And that kind of turned into us doing more songs, or me referencing more songs for him. And he wanted to keep some of them, rather keep me on them. And that kind of turned into a situation of, well, these songs sound good. Let's put them out, or let's at least put one of them out. And at the time, I was not an artist. No one
Right.
had ever heard me as an artist on a song yet. I was strictly music production and writing. And one thing led to another. We chose a song that we did called "Wine for Me." We put out that single as a duo group, which was called Kings X2. And probably about a month later, after we released that single, we debuted at number 10 on the Billboard charts.
Amazing, amazing, amazing work. Congratulations. And with the new clips that you have been released, can you tell me how did it all start? I mean, what was the motivation for you to compose this song? And how did you create it? The process through all that. I mean, the song is really amazing. I advise. I mean, on the podcast presentation in your video, it's there for people to listen, and for people also to know how creative are you, because this is something I really admire. And how do you remade this song and made it happen? Let's put it that way.
Okay. So the song that you're referencing is called "City Love,"
Yeah.
featuring Brian McKnight Jr. Well, first off, shout out to Brian McKnight Jr. It's such an amazing talent. I've met Brian years back through mutual people that we knew, and actually, "City Love" is the first song that we ever did together. Um,
Okay.
so it was just really the premise of the song is pretty much we're showing the women that we love all women in all cities and all states. So we're that's what we're just trying to portray. And we wanted this to kind of be more of a nostalgic 90s sound, but still current, with something new and fresh.
Right.
And more so kind of a male duet, like not in a traditional sense, but just something of that nature. So that's what you guys hear
Something
now.
different. Something
Yeah,
different, like to say.
yeah,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
something new and fresh. So that's how it came about. Literally, we just had a few conversations. We kind of came back and forth with ideas, and that's what came out.
Amazing, amazing. How did you came up with I mean, with the writing, the script? Because you had to have a lot of thinking, I imagine, to write it all with that concept, with that purpose, with that path. How was it for you when you started the actual idea?
Honestly, Brian came to me with the concept.
Oh, okay.
Because he's really quick and fast with coming up with concepts for songs. So he kind of came to me with the idea, and I just kind of put the final pieces together to bring it all the way home, and that was kind of it.
Amazing, amazing. So, of course, for people who actually listen or can hear this episode after, the song is already out, right? It's
Yes,
on. It's
yes,
actually on the billboards, I think, already.
yes.
Um,
It is available.
Perfect, perfect. So, Brian, what's next? You started already, a wonderful journey since all this started. Let's just say, I mean, what's next for you? I mean, is the world big enough for you? How you want to get, where you want to get.
Oh man, so much new, so much stuff going on. First and foremost, shout out to my Humble Sound Records team. Right now, we're just continuing to build the Humble Sound Records brand, which is my label imprint.
Okay.
So, of course, we have artists that are under us. Shout out to Sophia Habib. Shout out to Shina, Tanisha Kelly, Robin S., Khujo Goodie. So many different people that we deal with.
Sure.
And of course, continuing to build the James Artisan brand. I'm currently working on my debut album, which is going to be releasing top of next year. So I'm excited about that. Um, yeah, we're just kind of staying consistent with, new projects, releases. Most recently, of course, City Love is available, but I also have other singles that came out recently too. I had a single with Robin S. called One More Thing that's available now,
Sure.
and also another single with Khujo Goodie called All Night. So all these songs are available. Go check them out. And yeah, we're just continuing to grow.
Amazing, amazing. So you also did a lot of gigs so far. Can you tell us a bit where the places where you've been and the places where you'd like to go? Let's just say.
Yeah, man, I've done so many shows, from smaller to big arenas.
Yeah,
And they're all a blessing. They're all an experience. Every time you do a show, it's always something new that you take from it, and you
yeah.
implement it into the next show. So that's the cool part about it. But I would say, moving forward, it's just about reaching more people, in different places. So that's really my main goal, is to continue to build and grow into different spaces and different places that I haven't either been or touched yet. So that's really the main goal.
So that means you are open to travel anywhere in the world to sing in an event, in a concert.
Yeah, absolutely.
So people who are watching or will be watching, don't forget, James is open to go anywhere in a concert. So whoever needs to reach out, don't hesitate. He's really a good guy. So James, now within, of course, this aspect and all your experience that you went through, also most people would actually don't know. What advices would you give for prominent new singers that are just trying to sing or trying to start, let's just say, their careers, and what they should do and what they should not do according, as society is, how people sometimes, get around to take advantage of you. What would be your main insights and advices to people that actually started?
I tell people a lot of times, if you want to get into this business, you have to get into it for the right reasons. Is
Yeah,
it more so because you love it, or is it more
yeah,
so for monetary gain or popularity or what have you? That's the
yeah,
first point. But the second point is, um, have you done the work? Have you perfected your crafts? Have you learned the business? Have you learned from others that are better than you? That's really my motto, is learn from those who are better than you, because if you don't, there's nothing to learn. There's nothing to
yeah.
take from. There's nothing to um, implement into, your trajectory. So, all those things you have to take into account for. But also, um, do you have the work ethic? Do you have the consistency? All these different things kind of play a part into who you are as the not only the entertainer, but as a business, as a brand.
Amazing, amazing. So, from all this, of course, that you need to take into account, what other advices would you advise? When you are, for example, working with a production company or a possible joint venture partnership. What is the most important thing people should look at?
Um, I think it comes down to whoever you're working with. Do you align with them, or do they align with
Mhm.
you? Does the partnership make sense? Because
Yeah,
if something is off, then it throws the whole uh system off. Now the creativity is not going to be there. Now the trust is not going to be there, etc. So, I think those factors are very important. But then also too, again, is this a situation that's for you? Are you doing this for the right reason?
right.
So that's why with me personally, whenever I work with someone or I deal with someone, I'm very particular on who I deal with and
Yeah,
associate with, because like like they say, not all money is good money, and not every situation is a good situation. It might look good in the beginning, but
yeah.
when you pull the layers back, it could be totally different.
I go 100% with you. And just to recompose a little bit more what you just said, money is not everything. Absolutely. Absolutely. You will never buy a trustful person with money. He has to come with a real life, real experience, and what are the vibes between you and that person. It's like a relationship, right?
I
I mean,
agree.
if you are with a person that actually loves you, the person will not love you because you have money. It's because the way you are. So Professionally, people need to imagine that's exactly the same thing. A person has a skill. This skill is love. So you go online with the person because the person likes to work with you because it co-penetrates with the same ideals. And there's not money involved in there. And this is the main point I like to focus, because most people think doing entertainment, music, movies, etc., that everything is about the money. It's not. I mean, you will get in phases that many people can approach you, putting white layers, good mirrors, roses, that everything is a dream, But the reality is that they sing you a song. They sing you a song that is over 90% unreal. And
Yeah.
this is what majority, I'm not saying all, but unfortunately, it exists. And they have to know that, especially in entertainment business, there are a lot out there that should be better checked on, because most people are just there to see how they can take an advantage of a real prominent skill. A person goes, said they can evaluate a good voice and say, oh, this guy's going to be a good singer. Let's see, how can I manage to do something with it. It doesn't work that way. That's not a joint venture. That's a person taking advantage of you. And this is what people should realize before they get into a situation. We've
Yeah.
seen a lot already during many years, even with many famous singers. I
Yeah.
don't want to
Yeah.
mention a name, but we saw this happen. And to avoid that, people should really think that the tight group you have around you, it should be because of you, not because of what you have, not because of you can you afford, and not because of introductions, and not because of the people but you as a skill, as a person, and as a human being. And most people I see in society today are missing this out. They're starting and getting into this, and they think it's about introductions. They think it's about, no, it's not about introductions. It's about what can you afford. Yes, is it your skill prepared to get into this, and can you align with the business? Yes, but with the right people. This is very, very important, and this is not about money, and I'm just giving a heads up because there's a lot of people out there in entertainment, trying to show off. Some even moonlighting, even contracts and things. And in the end, the reality is a smoking mirror, and just watch out for that. And I'm pretty sure you got up some situations within the journey.
Oh
We're
yeah.
not talk
Oh
about
yeah.
it, but this is the reality. And for people who get into this, make sure that you really know what you're doing, and at first we get aligned with the right people, your friends or people for long. For example, people that work with me, we know each other for over 20 years. Some of the customers that work around with us, we know more than 15 years already through different corporations that I work with. So this is just a type of example people should be aware of. And
Right.
people say, but why? Very simple, because it takes a long time to see the people who are with you and you're not. And that time you don't have, because time passes by very fast. If you have to lose time to see who can work with you and you cannot, you are wasting almost 40, 50% of your time, and you're always suspicious that something might go wrong. So why working that way?
I
We
agree.
should work in a precise, prominent path, which is, you already know the people who are working with, it works, so why change it? Then it comes to the controversy. People said, yeah, but then it's all called circles. Well, it's how society behaves. If people would have worked, this would not be like that. Why there are closed circles everywhere? Because people need the creative to defend themselves. And that circle with them works because it's people, they all know each other for a long time and they know what they're doing. And people say, yeah, but I want to get into that. Yeah, but it's the same thing. Would you behave? Would you be a trustable person? Would you have your own word? when you say one thing and that's going to happen. So until we prove that, that's how it works. And this is again another step in society that it's unfortunate, of course, but it's how it is. And people will
Yeah,
not damage themselves, will not jeopardize time into work with people they don't know. So there are two things exactly that people need to understand. Firstly, everything related to trust, not about money, because you can go into a thing for money, and there's over 90% possibility that that will go wrong, and that will jeopardize your image that you created for 10, 15, 20 years. For what? So
exactly.
precise things that need to be concise. And this is a great example for people to see that it's not about the money. It's about real people, real values, and real intuition, and creativity. Because when you are with the close circle, and I'm sure it's the same with you, when you are with your friends, trying to imagine what will be the next concept or the next song, brainstorming. Each one creates an idea. Oh yeah, so let's do that. Or let's do like this. Let's do like that. And then you start, doing the bits. Tell us a bit about that experience from your side, because that I really like to hear it.
Yeah, it all depends. You're pretty much pulling from each other. So,
Yeah,
I might come up with something in the beginning and then the other person is piggybacking off of me or vice versa,
yeah,
or
yeah,
we just, create together and put the pieces together. So, it's all situational, but me personally, a lot of times, I don't really wait on people,
yeah,
so once I kind of meet with someone, I already have a concept in my head or I
yeah,
already have something that's kind of set. So once I get to them, we can just fine tune it, you know. But if it's a situation of we haven't worked together and we're just kind of going organically, I'm off. I go off energy, So if you
yeah,
have a good energy and we gel, then we'll make magic. If not, then it's gonna be difficult.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So within this magic that you do, how do you find, this is also a learning process for me. How do you find this part of the beat process? I mean, like the song, instruments, etc., together with your own writing. For example, when you write a song, how do you imagine the correct exact script that you could putting on?
Um, a lot of times I go off of melody. So
Okay.
if there's a good melody line or melody structure that it's already kind of there, then production is kind of formed around that, or it could be a situation of I already have some um, concepts and words in my head already, and then I'll just probably already have a production skeleton, is what we would call it, and just write around that. So, it just kind of depends on how I'm feeling. Oh, I think I lost you. All right.
Yeah, sorry everyone. We had a slight technical problem. So yeah, we lost some connection. So sorry about this. Yeah, and also I interrupted you, James. So please go ahead.
Okay, I forgot where I was at.
So we were on the stage of the brainstorming, how you came up with the songs and how you align with everyone, and then we were talking about how do you actually find the right melody for the script.
Yeah. So, sometimes it's different. Like I'll have a melody idea or a melody line is what we would say, and um, once I have that, then I'll just form the production around there and put the piece together. Or I might just already have production skeletons, is what we would call it, and write the concepts around that. So
Right.
just kind of depends. But me personally, a lot of times I just kind of go off of melodies because that's where I start coming up with the best ideas, and then just form the production around that.
Right, right. Are you adventurous? I mean, you kept your style always the same way, or sometimes you like to try new melodies or new sounds?
Oh yeah, I love to try new things. Because music is endless. It's no boundaries. So there's so much infusion in music. There's so much things that you can do to be creative. So I'm always going to different styles of music and different genres and seeing, okay, what can we do over here? What can we do over there? How can we take things up a notch? And how can we continue to transcend music in different ways? So
Right.
I'm always thinking about that.
Amazing, amazing. So, do you have something planned? Real soon. Are you launching something that you'll be able to tell the audience when it's going to be out?
Right now we're just focusing on the singles that we have out right now.
Okay.
Still continuing to uh focus on the debut album that's coming out next year. Um, and yeah, I'm probably gonna be releasing tour dates. The closer that we get to the album rollout.
Okay.
But yeah, just continue to watch the socials.
Are you looking forward to coming to Europe, or you mainly going to be in US?
Oh yeah, I'll definitely be coming back to Europe. It's interesting. I just left Europe probably about a month and a half ago.
Amazing.
I had a show out there with a couple of other artists. I think we were at the Belgium Palace, which
Okay.
was really cool. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You've been around Europe in many countries, or just a few?
Oh man, I've been so many different places. It's hard to keep up, but I've been all over the world. It's been a blessing.
Amazing. Amazing. So, I mean, from all your journey and all you achieve, what are your plans? Within the next 6 years, let's just say.
Of course, continuing to build the brands, of course. But really, my biggest goal is to build a really build an empire. That's my whole thing is continue to build an empire with so many different moving parts in it, whether it's for music, whether it's for entertainment, whether it's for
Right.
apparel, whether it's for fashion, different things that are connected to the brand and the name. That's my biggest goal. And before you even get to that point, you have to perfect each part, and that's what we're doing right now, is perfecting each moving part.
What is your sensation? I mean, how do you feel when you get in a real audience, for example, in a concert? I mean, how do you feel yourself inside? I mean, is it nervousness? Is it excitement? Looking, so many people watching you. How do you actually feel? Like, I know I cannot do any mistakes. Just to get the that sensation. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little bit of nervousness, like maybe in front of an audience that you haven't been in front of before, or if you've gone to a new place, you're just trying to feel out the energy, you know. But sometimes, you know, it's really fun, and it's more of a adrenaline rush. So you don't really feel nervousness. It's more so uh, anxiousness of just trying to put on a good show.
Yeah, yeah. And in the end, you feel the connection, right? I mean, people are following up the vibe, following up the song.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Amazing, amazing. So, within this, are you actually doing something else outside music, or you focus 100% within music today?
Right now we're just totally focusing on music and entertainment. Probably down the line, I'll get more. We'll get back more into television and film,
Okay.
and those kind of things. But right now, we're just kind of focusing on our main objectives.
You were on television and films before?
I was, yeah.
I mean, tell us a bit about that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've been on TV shows before. I've been in a couple of movies before. So
Okay.
those situations were kind of, I would probably say, like just kind of thrown in my lap. It really wasn't something that I sought out. It
Okay.
was just, a little bit of right place at the right time. Meet this person, meet that person, and you just kind of go from there. But
Go with the flow. Go
yeah,
with the
you
flow.
just go with the flow.
Yeah, yeah. And can you tell us the names of the movies that they already out? I mean, was it a long time ago?
Yeah, so I've been on TV shows like Love and Hip Hop. I've been on
Okay.
From the Bottom Up, which is a TV on BET.
Yeah.
I've been on Chrisley's Knows Best. I've been on man Access Hollywood. I mean, it's so many different shows.
Amazing. Amazing.
Um,
I didn't
so
know that
yeah,
part of your career. It's really amazing.
yeah.
And what made you come from movies and TV to music? I mean, how did you found that the path coming one to the other?
Well, I kind of look at it as it's all entertainment, you know.
Right.
One side of it is just you're entertaining in a music format. The other one is you're entertaining through the TV lens or the camera lens through television. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
they all have different aspects to it, but it all comes down to entertainment.
You felt that you are more engaged and you actually doing and enjoying more with music than you were before with TV.
Oh yeah, because music has always been my first love.
Right.
It's something that I began with, and it's something that it's just probably innate in me. TV and television is cool, but that's not really it's not a passion of mine.
Right. Right. Different paths. Right. So in
Yeah,
the end, you have the pure reality. What is it that made you go really into your vocation, and that nothing is impossible, right? I mean,
yeah,
you are the true example. When people say, "Well, it's impossible," nothing is impossible. If you put your heart into it and you really feel it as vocation, but you need to feel it. That's the difference. Most people don't feel that, and this is where I wanted to take that conversation because I know you do everything with passion and with heart, and all you do, you put everything in it, and that's what makes it work. And this is for people who actually understand. Some people are getting into entertainment maybe because they think posing or trying to practice singing or movie scripts or whatever, and they do it in 10-15 minutes, and that works, and that will make them whatever they want to do. It doesn't work that way. It does
yeah,
not work that way. You need to have full vocation in all you do, and that from vocation other people will see that you're really into it. Because if we don't feel that you're really into it, it's very hard to believe in the person in what you want to achieve, right? It's like a movie actor. You get into a movie. If you don't really represent your script well, like it was for real in reality, people will see that maybe a fraction of the movie are not that real as they should be, and that's what makes a good actor from an average actor. This is what
Right.
people should understand. It goes same for singing, it goes same for teaching, it goes same for a professional. It's passion, it's vocation, and it's really principles of the person. And that's it's really the three principles. Where does it take you where you want to get? Because when people see, oh, I want to be an astronaut. Yeah, but can you be an astronaut?
Right.
That's
Right.
you know, it's very good. I mean, to have dreams, but you need to have dreams into reality. And put that vocation in the skill you have, and just follow through and fulfill it. But if you
Absolutely.
don't believe in yourself, it's very hard to make other people to believe in you. And this is what principle is all about. You need to really show your vocation. I mean, you can clearly see when I heard the City Night, the single
Yeah.
that
City Love.
yeah, City Love. When I heard it, it came into me. You feel the vibe. Why? Because he was really done with inspiration. He was felt in, and when you hear it, you feel the song. And if you remember when I actually, got in communication with you through that voice note, I actually told, listen, I'm actually hearing your song, and this is where it comes the conversation with the other radio in Portugal, etc. So it all goes when you make other people feel what they want me to feel,
Right.
putting them to reality. But like I said, for that you need to be real. You cannot fake that. People need to have this criteria well focused, because vocation cannot really be taught or cannot be faked. It is or it isn't. And that's what it is. You need to put your heart into it. It can be you can be an engineer, you can be a singer, you can be a movie maker, you can be a producer. They all put their heart into their work, and this is what makes the value of the work to the next level. And for people
Totally
really
agree.
follow that work, and most
Absolutely.
people miss out this, and they think it's not. It's because you, again, to the same conversation. It's because you have connections or you have money. No, money does not buy that skill. Money does not buy that vocation. Either you have it or you can create it. You can create it. I mean, many singers became famous because they went to singer school. They practice their voice, and then they put their heart into invocation. But they put their heart into it, and this is what makes that differentiality. People think that showing off in some cover pages or putting some work, they'll take them to heaven. Well, a reality class, that will never happen. For people to be real,
Yeah.
reality is real vocation. I really don't know how many hours you spend with the song, but I'm pretty sure you spend a lot. And there's a
Oh yeah.
real
Yeah.
lot
Yeah.
of time on the background. Maybe, I don't know, maybe 1,000 hours, 2,000 hours or more. And the amount of people you need to co work with, the producers, the designers, the graphic designers, co-align the idea. This is what people don't know. And people should be more informed and to know um, and evaluate a person's work. I mean, when you talk about, for example, critics, most people in critics, some of them, they really don't know what's going on. They just talk because it's funny to talk, because creating attention about something. But the reality is, there's really hard work behind everything. What people see is the final result of sometimes of months and months of work just to achieve that half an hour or 1 hour disc with a few tracks in it. It really
Absolutely.
requires a lot of effort, sacrifice. because sometimes you do over and over again until you get the way you want it. Sometimes you need to go over the studio many times. So all this work, its vocation is your heart. It said we gotta get it right. We gotta get it right until we get it right. So, but what does it tell you, and what does that person tells you that is capable of doing anything? And this is one of the skills I truly admire from you, and then I can sense that. And I can see that from you. That when you get into something, you go until the end. It doesn't matter how long it takes, but you get it done until the end. And then when it's right, you show it. And this type of work is what people miss out. And some people
Yeah.
just say, it could be this, it could be that. Well, how would you do it better? Can you do it better? Show it, because talk is cheap. Either you can know what is the work there, or just watch. You can watch and hear. If you don't like it, just pass it away. But the main point is, if you're going to talk knowing what you're talking about. This goes also to a lot of people that like to criticize out there, and they like just to comment about people's work sometimes without having any idea what they're talking about. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure that happened to you also. So within all your journey, which I really truly admire, because plus the part that I actually didn't know that you were in movies before.
Mhm.
uh, are you planning? You just said that maybe you'll be planning, to come back. Are you planning to maybe in the future to do a movie, or is that your idea?
Uh, I'm not sure. It might come up in the horizon later, but I think I would have to be comfortable, with everything else that's going on before I get to that point, because
Right, right.
television and film and acting is a whole different beast than
Yeah.
music. But also, next year I'm going to be planning on doing a documentary about my life and career as well, which a lot of people have been asking for. So, um,
I want to watch that.
yeah, I think that's really, really going to be, um, of course, informative for people, but also interesting because, a lot of people are really interested in hearing my backstory, from the very,
Yeah.
very beginning to where I'm at now, because it's been so many different situations and scenarios and blah blah blah. So, definitely excited to start doing that.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I look forward to that documentary. Let me know when you actually launch it out, because
Absolutely.
I would like to see that. And I'm pretty sure many people also. You have a lot of fans, so within this, you already have some gigs planning in until the end of the year. Or
Yeah, I have a couple of shows that are spread out, different appearances, etc. But really the biggest point is just kind of perfecting and finishing the album. Of course, still promoting, what's already been released, and
right?
just kind of gearing up for 2026.
Amazing, amazing. So before we wrapped up, I mean, it's been a wonderful conversation. Already been for 45 minutes. Amazing. Time really
Yeah.
passes when you enjoy it, right? So
Absolutely.
within this, just two couple of things. What else would you like to expose about your work, or future things that are coming out? And before finalizing, I always ask my guests to say a power message. So, what will be your power message today for people out there?
I would tell people, just continue to stay consistent, hungry, and, do what you love. Don't worry about what other people think about it, what they say about it.
Yeah,
Don't worry about, trying to compete or trying to compare yourself to someone else. Just stay true to you, what you feel, what you believe in your craft, and continue to perfect your craft, no matter what.
yeah,
Um, And also, everyone follow me all social media at James Artissen. Go to the website www.jamesartisan.com. Everything is on there that you need to know. All links, all music, etc. And continue to follow the journey.
Amazing. I'm sure you have one follower here for life, for
Thank you
sure.
so much. I appreciate that.
So, James, thank you so much for this amazing conversation. I'm pretty sure it's very insightful for many people out there, and for people who actually, learn a little bit more what is actually the reality in music. Um, so we have a comment from Asibi Hassan. It was actually in LinkedIn. He says, "Hello, everyone." So hello, hello for me also, and
Hello.
yeah. So he didn't actually put up a question. It's just hello, everyone. So hello, hello, everybody. So, James, thank you so much for this insightful conversation. Like I said, I'm pretty sure many people will appreciate, having the real insights from a person like you, and the experience that you already had and being having, in this sector, which is very, let's just say, very competitive. I'm pretty sure people will learn a lot from this conversation, and learn directly from you, following you. So, thank you
Absolutely.
so much for having
Thank you.
your time and this conversation with us today, and wish you all the best in the future. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.